Hello, and welcome to another KSP video, where today we are on part 2 of the West Goldfield Space Agency. Now today, off the bat, we have a few things we can do. Now for me, I think the next contract we should take is to orbit Kerbin, because honestly, I think we're really close with our current rocket, and with a few upgrades, I think we could get there and get into orbit. So I am going to accept this contract and start building a new rocket. So I keep seeing that we do not have the ability to launch this rocket because it is too heavy, so I do want to see if we can actually upgrade our space center, or rather our vehicle assembly building, which I'm not sure I completely remember how to do. And it seems that we can actually upgrade our ability to launch bigger vessels for 50,000, and I think we can actually afford that, so that is what we'll do. Now I'll finish building our rocket. And here we go. I named this rocket the RLV for Rocket Launch Vessel, and now we're just going to try to get into orbit. And there we go, we made it into orbit. And now I'm just going to do a few science experiments, as this is the first time we're in orbit, but it seems we're not getting any signs because the past times we've been this high, we have done these experiments. And there we go, we landed safely, and now we can just recover the vehicle. And as we're going to see, we completed a contract for orbiting Kerbin, and we are going to get our usual rewards of science. We are going to get money back from recovered parts, and of course, Jebediah is ready for another mission. But this time, he actually got a level up, which is great. Now, we do have a ton of money now, and a good amount of development points. So I do want to spend a few of those. What I would like to spend our development points on is probably general construction so that we can get the crew cabin. What the crew cabin is going to do for us is actually allow us to take tourists up to space. What I think we'll do now, though, is actually accept this contract where we have to test a solid rocket booster. Now, luckily for us, this booster is actually on our rocket right here. So, we'll not only test the rocket like this, because that would sort of be a waste, but I do also want to do something else, which is checking if we're actually able to launch a rocket with this capsule on it. Now, it doesn't seem we were able to get into orbit, but I do think that was an issue with the launch because we actually activated all the boosters at the same time, which was an accident on my part, as when I clicked run test, I was not aware it was going to activate the booster. But nonetheless, we are just going to land this rocket. And there we go, we touched down safely. Now, unfortunately, we did not get into orbit, but we did complete our contract as we did successfully test the part, which also continues to confuse me about the other part we are unable to test, but who knows. As we can see, though, this contract is completed. Now, I do not like to do these focused observatorial contracts just because I think they're really difficult because you need to be in a specific area. So I am going to refrain from doing these for now, and instead maybe look at other parts. Though I do think that is a contract we will have to start taking because these contracts also seem to be pretty difficult. So I will actually try this one, as it is at a relatively low altitude. This rocket, though, again, should be plenty to be able to get us there. And as we can see, we actually need to go the other direction. So, we'll just launch our rocket now. And as we can see now, we were not able to get to that area, so I do think we will have to, in the future, use some sort of plane to be able to do these. Now I am also trying to recover this booster as I do not want to lose a ton of money from this mission. And there we go, that was also successful. So now we'll just recover the vessel. Now what I want to look into is maybe buying or researching something that has to do with planes. And currently we aren't able to do that as, well, we do not have enough research points. So I do think we are going to have to try to get more research points, and I think how we could do that is by actually getting into higher Earth orbit than we already have. So right there we may have accidentally by a smidge blown up our rocket a little bit more than not. We still kinda like got our research points, so I think it's okay. Now I want to see if we can finally research our aviation. And now we have enough research points, and now we can actually build our first plane. Now, of course, we are going to start with the plane cockpit, the MK-1 cockpit, and of course, we are going to put a liquid fuel fuselage. Now, it doesn't seem like we have a ton of parts to work with, but I do want this to be a smaller and lighter plane. Now, we only have this smaller engine, so we do want it to definitely be light. And that is our first plane built, and I called it the P1, which, plane 1. So now we're going to try to get to this area over here. Now I did make a mistake when building this, and I put the rear wheel pretty far back, which is going to make it difficult for taking off. But hopefully landing becomes a little bit easier. Alright, well, our landing gears broke while trying to land, but luckily we were able to recover it in the water. So now we will just click recover vessel, and as we did complete the contract, we should get some amount of signs and unlock new contracts too. As we can see, we did actually recover a fair amount of money for how many parts we lost in the touchdown. And Gemini is ready for our new mission. Now, I do think this is a good place to leave off this video, as I think we have gotten a decent amount done, we have increased our funds, and completed a few contracts. Anyways, that's the end of this video, and I really want to thank you for watching through the whole thing. It really means a lot. In the meantime, if you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them down below, and have yourself a great day.